live on Facebook and live on YouTube. Welcome, welcome. And today I'm going to be sharing with you one of my favorite topics to talk about because I think it's so important that every singer out there who understands this is going to change the game for themselves. And that's the idea of how to stand out from the competition. You know, it's a crowded market out there. So many talented singers, especially now if you're a recording artist, like anyone can release a record, right? But we're not just talking about recording artists. We're talking about if you're an auditioning singer, if you're a Broadway singer, if you're an opera singer, if you are a recording artist, how to stand out in a crowded market, how to stand out from the competition. Because I know it can feel intimidating. It might even make you feel hopeless at times to think like, how are you ever going to get noticed amidst all this other amazing talent out there? But over the years, I have noticed a few things that seem to make all the difference in the world as to the singers who break through and those who don't, those who stand out from the competition and those singers who don't. And so that's what we're talking about today. So let's just dive right in. So the first thing that I have noticed is that those singers who break out from the competition, they seem to have a perspective and they speak to it. They speak their mind, meaning, what do you stand for? What do you care about? Like, it's all about authenticity. Like, what do you authentically care about? What do you authentically stand for? You know, you can make yourself stand out from the competition by being an advocate to any number of worthy things out there, but it ultimately won't matter if that's not authentic to you, if you don't inherently believe in what you're doing. So what do you believe in? What matters to you? What or who do you fight for? Do you advocate for? And I'm not saying that you need to be out there politically. It doesn't have to be political, right? It can be, you know, I think about Meghan Trainor. If you guys know who Meghan Trainor is, she's a pop artist. And she's a pretty big girl. And a lot of her messaging is around like body positivity, because that's her thing. And her fans love that about her, you know? So like, what matters to you? And when you connect to that, let that inspire everything you do, because it will separate you from the crowd. Because you actually stand for something, not just for yourself, not just listen to me, buy my music, come to my shows, right? Most artists, it's all about me. But when you stand for something, when it's no longer just about buy my record, come to my concert, like my post, right? Guys, people can smell that a mile away and it doesn't smell good. You've all seen stuff like that, right? Instead, when you're about something, it's about a larger purpose, a larger mission, a larger message, a larger meaning. And that can really help you separate yourself from the competition, because for most artists, it's just all about that. But when you stand for something, it's about that larger mission, who you can connect to, who you can reach, who needs you. And so you guys, Lady Gaga is a fantastic example of this. Whether you like her music or whether you don't, okay? Her messaging, her mission is all about loving yourself and loving your weird, right? Like, she speaks and has since the beginning of her career spoken for the misfits, the people who never felt that they belonged, who didn't feel seen, who didn't feel that they fit in. She validated them. She gave them a voice. She empowered them. Everything that she has done in her art and in her public profile has been about this messaging of like embracing your weird, about self-love, about self-acceptance, right? She's not selling anything around that. She's just being her weird. And that's what matters to her. Did you guys see her at the Grammys this past year? She was wearing a lampshade, okay? Like, she's not doing anything other than embodying that which she stands for and serving that higher mission. And her fans feel that, and they value that, they appreciate that. And because of that, they would go to the ends of the earth for her, because she has given them something they needed: acceptance, empowerment, hope that their weird isn't going to be any more or less great or disparaged, because she is out there being her weird, and it gives them the acceptance and the empowerment to do the same. So it is what's made her stand out from the beginning and what she continues to align with today. And it's why her fans love her. Same with Taylor Swift. It's a slightly different messaging. It's less about you're weird and more about like girl power, friendship, connection, like the people who trade the bracelets at her concerts, right? That she has made it her mission to make everyone feel accepted, to feel connected, to feel valued as girls, you know, because she speaks to that in her lyrics. Her lyrics, especially when she was younger, was all about like, you know, just the ick and the angst of like being a young girl. And she didn't hide from that. Like she spoke to her heartbreak. So many records have been about her heartbreak. She is not afraid to speak to that because she knows her fans need that. So she is authentically speaking to that. And they love her for it, for that idea of let's connect, we're stronger together, right? So those are just two examples of that kind of thing. And so this brings me to the second thing that you can do to stand out from the competition. And it is this: remember who needs you. At the end of the day, that is why we do this, right? To reach people, to bring them joy, to affect them. Whether you're standing in an opera house, on a Broadway stage, whether you are a recording artist, at the end of the day, if you're just singing alone in your shower, that's not reaching people. That's not why we do this, right? We do it for connection and impact. And so remember who needs you. Who is that person? For example, who is your audience that needs you? What are their frustrations? What are their fears, their disappointments, right? If you may be sitting here listening to me and being like, well, I'm an opera singer or I'm a Broadway singer. Like I'm not messaging, I'm not writing songs that speak to message. You may not, but remember who needs you. Who is sitting in that concert hall that night who needs to be taken out of their crappy daily existence of the job that they do over and over again. They have no excitement in their life. They have no beauty in their life. They have no joy in their life, but they buy a ticket to see the opera that you're in or to see the musical that you're in. And they sit in that audience. And for those 2 hours, they are transported out of their banal, crappy day-to-day life of the job they hate or the marriage that's going nowhere or the dying parent who's in the hospital. And for those 2 hours, you transport them to somewhere where they feel joy. They feel like they don't have to be thinking about all that stuff. Remember who needs you. Also, if you are an auditioning singer and you're doing a lot of auditions, remember who needs you. The people, the casting people, the director, the producer putting on this musical, putting on this opera. They need amazing people. They're not, most of you think that you're auditioning and they're just sitting there looking down their noses and judging you and hating on everything you're doing. No, they're not. They need the next best star. They need their leading lady. They need their comic relief in the sidekick role. They need you. Okay. So remember who is in the audience, what they need, what they want, what their fears are. That casting director is worried that they're not going to find the amazing person for that role, right? The audience member is sitting there frustrated because they hate their life, Like, I'm not making this crap up, you guys. Like, create that person in your head. If you're a recording artist, who is your ideal listener? Create them in your head. Who is your ideal fan? What are they about? Give them a name. Visualize them. Remember being that person yourself. And that song or that performance that meant the world to you when you heard it. That song that changed everything for you when you heard it. Or that show that when you went, you saw it on Broadway that changed everything for you. Maybe that helped you through a really dark time in your life, or feeling unaccepted or totally alone after a bad breakup or after the loss of somebody that you loved, or just going through the crap of middle school, That song that like totally pumped you up before a big game, We all have these songs, these moments, these artists, these performances that have deeply affected who we are and how we see the world. So you have the opportunity to be that force in someone's life with your art, with your singing. And artists who really stand out from the competition and stand out from the crowd, they're connected to that. They're connected to the idea that their performance is not about them. It's about every other person who needs them in that moment. So before every performance, every recording session, connect to that person, that girl sitting in her bedroom who really needs to hear your voice, your song. That casting director who's been hired to cast their first big show and needs to find this incredible talent, needs your take on the character to make this show great. In every audition, imagine that she's on the other side of that table. And I come back to the Lady Gaga example here too. She knows who needs her. She's even given them a name, her fan base. You guys know what Lady Gaga calls her fans? She calls them little monsters. They inform everything she does because she was one of them. She understands that experience deeply. So don't let the industry dictate what you're putting out there. Meaning, don't just do something because you think it's what the industry wants to hear right now. Don't do something just because it's the in sound or what's popular right now or what you think you need to do or sound or look like to be successful because that's what everyone else is doing right now. Do you. Do what you do best, which is be you. Do what inspires you. Anything else will come across as inauthentic and it will not land. I think about the example of Amy Winehouse. When Amy Winehouse burst onto the scene in the, mid-aughts, 2010, something like that, I guess. It was everything out there was like Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake and like all that kind of poppy, urban pop stuff, right? And Amy Winehouse busts onto the scene with like throwback, like new modern take on like 1960s soul R&B. She's got saxophones and horns in her songs. Like what? Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears not doing that, right? So like, do you. The reason she was a success is because she was doing what she was connected to. So make a choice, you guys. Do not try to be everything to everyone. Just be you. Know what inspires you, what matters to you, what is important to you. Know who you are artistically, vocally, authentically, and then be the most authentic and unapologetic you that you can be. That's really what we're talking about here. That is the number one thing that will make you stand out from the competition in a very crowded industry. Be you. So there's that saying. Have you heard it? Be you. Everybody else is taken, right? But sometimes it can feel really difficult to just be you if you don't yet know who that really is, or you haven't spent time connecting to what matters to you, or if you believe that who you are subconsciously is not actually enough. And if you follow my content, you've heard me talk many times about the major ramifications of feeling less than. If you are a singer, it affects your body's ability to make a powerful sound. It seriously gets in the way of your ability to connect in an impactful way with your audience. It is a huge reason talented singers struggle with technique issues, believe it or not, yes, and also struggle to stand out and break through in their auditions and performances and recordings. And it is one of the biggest things that I address with our singers in our intensive training program, knowing who they are artistically, as creatives, as singer, as a woman, as a man, having that unshakable belief and trust in who they are, and knowing how to unapologetically be the most them they can be, because it is what sets them apart from all the other artists in their sphere and radically changes the trajectory of their singing and their career. So if this is making a lot of sense to you, and you want that guidance to get this transformation for yourself, for your singing, for your career, if you're a pro singer who is currently feeling stuck because you're not happy with where your voice and career is, and you're not breaking through the competition despite doing everything you know how to do, and you're ready to bust through the blocks and build a foundation and sing in a way that yields much bigger results. Not just any results, but the kind of results that you are actually excited about, then you have an opportunity right now, because coming up next week, I'm inviting you to come experience what it is like to train with us in a system that helps you to cultivate all these things that we were talking about today, and train with us for a full week for free in a 6-day live training workshop. So this is for singers, like I said, who are done being stuck, who are done not standing out from the competition, who are done delivering less than what they are capable of when it actually counts, who are done watching other singers living their dream on the stage when they sit in the audience thinking, that should be me, and who are ready to learn how to become bulletproof on every stage by doing things differently to get better results. So this is a 6-day vocal powerhouse accelerator. We're calling it the Be Bulletproof Edition. Starts on Monday, this coming Monday, July 20th through July 26th. This is 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. East Coast time, 90-minute sessions. I'm putting the link in the comments to register. If you're watching on Facebook, I'm putting the link in the comments right now for you. If you're already registered, amazing. I can't wait to see you there. If you're not, get in there. This is a free week of training with me and my team. Like, who else is giving that to you? This is worth like at least $1,000, okay? If you're watching on YouTube, the link to register is in the video description copy, okay? Facebook is being tricky to me and it does not want me to, here we go, okay. There it is. Boop-be-doop-be-doo. Okay, there. So, enter. Boop. Okay. So if you're watching on Facebook, I just put the link in the comments so you can register. So it's 6 days, 90 minutes a day, every afternoon, starting this coming Monday, the 20th, 4 o'clock East Coast time, 1 o'clock Pacific, over Zoom. And we're going to deep dive into technique, into mindset, into the mind-body connection, into finding your unique artistry, into tapping into what is special about you, everything that we were just talking about today. And these 4 or 5 things that I just mentioned, the big pillars that you need to shore up to be a bulletproof performer so that you can finally break out through the competition for those elite opportunities that you really want. And it's free, because I don't want you to just know there's a better way to train that gets bigger results in a faster period of time. I want you to come experience it for yourself. So register, block off your calendar, and get yourself there, all right? Okay, guys, I will see you in the workshop next week. Bye, everybody.